So today in this video, I'm going to show you how to build a ScreenFlow. So I built this custom budget app, and I have a custom object in there called savings goals. And so I want to create a ScreenFlow to allow, well, myself to be able to create a savings goal record quickly from the home page. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to go here, I'm in setup, home, I'm going to type in flows. You can see it's under process automation, and then there's a new flow button over on the right hand side. So I'll click that and I'll go ahead and select a screen flow because you can see this uses screens to guide users through a business process. I got this pulled up, and I'll go ahead and close any pop-ups and open up my toolbox for any resources or variables that I create. And the first element that I want to create here is a screen. And so the first part I'm going to do is just ask kind of what kind of budget or what kind of goal this is, if it's a savings goal or a budget goal. You can see on the right hand side there's some label and API names that you have to put in here, and I'm going to not show the header because I actually want to display some custom fields or text there. So I'll go ahead and search these components here on the left hand side. These are standard out of the box components that you get within Flow, and I'll choose display text and also radio buttons to give myself a choice of which goal I want to create. So in doing that, I'm going to update some of the information. So you can see here I have what type of goal is this, and then now I'm going to configure my radio buttons. So to be able to display kind of a text choice, you do have to create a choice resource. So here I'm creating a new one. I'm choosing choice to allow for like a choice to be selected in a screen component. And you have to give an API name, and then in the choice label rich text field, I will just put what I want this one to be. So the first one will be budget, and then the second one will be savings. So I'll do the same as I did before with the budget, but I'll make it saving. So again, I'm choosing a resource type of choice, give it a unique API name. Unique as in I can't have the same API name for multiple variables inside the flow. So now I have my first screen, looks good. What type of goal is this? And then you choose a budget goal or a savings goal. So now the next step I'll have is create another screen. So you can see here on the canvas, my screen element pops up. I'll just go to the little plus sign below it and select a new element, and I'll select another screen. So again, same as before, you have some properties that you have to fill out, such as the label and the API name. So I'll do that now. This one I'm going to choose, is this a monthly goal or is this a yearly goal? Something you want to track all year, or is this something you want to just track month to month? And it'll be similar to what I did before. So I'll add some display text and radio buttons and create it the same way. For the radio buttons choice, I didn't want to repeat myself multiple times, so I think I just put pick one. Nice and simple. Either a monthly goal or a yearly goal. Looks good, and we can click done. So we have two screens now, two screen elements on our flow canvas. I'm going to add another one. And for this one, we need some information around the savings goal. So it'll have a little bit more components to it, because we need to kind of allow our users, or in this case myself, to be able to fill in information about a goal on the screen rather than going into the savings goal object and creating new, etc. So here I'm adding a section component to be able to drop some different fields and stuff inside the section. So I keep it 2 columns. Go ahead and update my display text here. You can see this is a rich text field, so you can change the font, add size if you want to bold it, throw in an image. etc. You can do all kinds of stuff within that rich text component. So now I have all of my fields, and now I'm just going to make sure I give them the proper label and API name. So I have a few text fields. You can see there's a currency field and 2 date fields. And these labels are matching the field names that I created when I created this object. So we have a name, we're naming the goal, we're giving a description, what is the amount, so how much do you want to save this month, or what is your budget for groceries for this month. I could put a validation in there if I wanted to, or even a formula, but I just updated it to say 2 decimal places. And then the fields I have are a target date field and a start date field. So when do you want it to achieve this savings goal, and then when did it start? And we'll go ahead and at least make name required, because it's required when we create the record anyway, and then goal amount as well. So that screen looks good, so we'll just go ahead and click done, and it should pop that screen element on to our canvas. So here we have our type of goal, is it a monthly or yearly, and what's this about. I'm also going to go in here and just edit this one. So now I'm like, well, maybe I want to do something else, something a little bit different. So I'll go ahead and add a slider component in here. This would be kind of cool, just slide it over. How much do you want to save? Slide it over to the amount. So that's what I'm doing here. So giving it, again, a unique API name, some kind of amount, and we'll say like 100,000 because we're big spenders here. Not really. I'm going to go ahead and actually change the label to goal amount and then remove the other component that I did and rearrange the screen a little bit to make it a little bit more friendly. Now it's got a slider that I'll be able to adjust. Awesome, and that should be everything as far as the screens. But now, since we've added that last screen of kind of having fields and stuff to be able to put in information about a goal, well, we need to create that record so that way it's saved in the database. So you can see I'm using a create records element. I'm going to create a goal. I'm going to use separate resources and literal values, and I'll search for the object. And then I know I need to add a bunch of fields in here, so I'll just kind of go ahead and do that. You can always add more or delete if you need to. And then here you're just searching for the fields. So added all the fields, added all the inputs from the screen and their values. So that way when the record is created, it's going to have the value that the user put on the screen. You can see here I do have this other custom object called month where I'm associating it to the savings goal. So that's why I added that extra element in there to do that. So we'll save our flow, and I'm just going to go ahead and activate it now. Probably should run it or debug it or something, but I'm confident that it's going to work. So we'll activate it, and now what we want to do, I want to actually add this screen flow to the homepage of the budget app, which is what we will do in our next video. So join me next time for part 2, where we